Hello everybody, it's the Historical Gamer once again, and today we're picking things back up in our Strategic Command World War I game, where we're playing the Ludendorff Offensive, which is an operational scenario in this game. It's one of two operational scenarios. This is very different from the base game, which focuses on sort of a grand strategy side of World War I, where you've got sort of armies or corps as your minimum size unit. You deal with diplomacy in the entire map of Europe. In this scenario, you're just looking at the Western Front starting in the spring of 1918, and you're attempting, if you're the Germans, taking Paris, if you're the Western Allies, withstanding the German spring offensive and then launching a counteroffensive against the Germans and historically winning the war as they did. With that being said, this is part number 3 in our Let's Play series of this game. It is taken from a live stream on my Twitch channel from a couple of weeks ago. And if you are interested in joining future streams, we have concluded this playthrough, but if you are interested in joining future streams, there's a link in the description for that. Additionally, if you are interested in picking this game up, there's a link in the description to my Nexus GG page, which is an official sort of publisher authorized reseller channel where you can buy a Steam key for the game, but it also, if you purchase it through that website, it supports the channel. So if you are interested in picking up Strategic Command World War I, Strategic Command World War II, Panzer Corps II, there's a bunch of games that are on there. I think there's like 10 games that I've put on there. If you purchase any of those games from that site, you help the channel out. Anyway, guys, we're picking things up. We're about an hour into the gameplay. We've really broken through the front near sort of the hinge of the line, where the line sort of shifts from going east to west to north, which is allowing us to drive on Paris. We've also made a couple of smaller breakthroughs near places like Vilmy or other things like that, where we are trying to keep the pressure up on the Allies in more than one spot so we can force them to spread out their reinforcements and not just clump everything in front of us in front of Paris. That being said, we'll see how things play out. Let's jump back into the stream. Hope you guys enjoy. Leave your thoughts below, and I'll catch you guys at the end. All right, this division in the south, the 41st, is also suffering heavily. So the French are at 87, the British at 56. If we take a look at the losses, the British have lost 6 units, the French 25, US 1, and the Germans 2. German morale is 86. The French are still hanging strong at 83. They seem to be content to take a bunch of casualties. And just, I don't know, part of me wonders if we need to evacuate these 4 or 5 divisions from this breach. But I think they're plugging the gap pretty well here. These guys are all dug in at level 4, so the trenches are solidifying. We had success to the west of Soissons today because there were no troops there, but these American units are plugging the gap here. I don't know. Thanks for the follow, Thibron. The British are not being pressed too hard. So we'll destroy that 50th British division. 87, 7, 9. So you can see here the German national morale took a dip, but is doing okay now. I'm assuming this dip was when they plundered the enemy. The British national morale is holding steady. The French is declining slightly. The Americans holding steady. MPPs in terms of collected income versus lost. The British income still substantially exceeds their losses. That's concerning. The French, not so much. The French are losing way more than their income. Almost threefold. And the Americans, yeah. What about the Germans? The German losses are exceeding their income, okay. In terms of casualties. New units keep coming into Ath and Sedan. The funny thing is, we've got the Americans here at Chateau Thierry, and it's kind of like, hey, that's almost where this historical offensive petered out. Bavarian Reserve. Let's just buy a whole bunch of infantry with our money then. So we just purchased several new infantry units. They won't be crack units, but they'll begin arriving in May, I believe. Meanwhile, Joseph 9145, thank you for the follow. Napsmore, thank you for the follow. Do I think the stalemate was the fault of the generals or the West Front? I think there were too many troops operating in too small an area for the technologies that the warring powers had at their disposal at the start of the war. Because you don't see the same static trench warfare to the same extent anyway in the Eastern Front. All right, let's end this turn and see what happens. What is going to happen? So the British leave their trenches to try and poke into our flank here. That actually might work to our advantage because those guys won't be dug in. A lot of enemy units moving around via rail. They're using their blimp bombers to try and take out our railgun there. Some enemy heavy bombers here. Yeah, communication was another major problem. Oh shit. We retreated forwards. French cavalry's attacking near Chateau Thierry. We just lost a division down that way. Those guys were already under strength, but that's, I think that might have been a, I hope that wasn't a crack division. I hope that was a reserve division. Drove our troops back near Lille. That's what I want you guys to do. Oh god. Enemy tanks. I was gonna say, that's what I want you guys to do, is if you're outmatched, pull back. And the British just broke through near Bethune again. Another one of our units lost up there. Ugh. You're retreating in the opposite direction, J Street. To see what my supply situation is, if I can reinforce some of those troops. That was a rough turn. We lost 2 divisions destroyed. Tanks versus cavalry. It's like the Polish Lancers, except in World War I. All right. Well, we destroyed that French cavalry division. Let's try and... I can't attack anywhere else with my artillery, and it's got a full complement of ammo, so we might as well go after this 16th French detachment here. Okay. So we took Villers-Cotterêts, which is on the road to Paris. Attack the 33rd Division, which is in the open. Near Compagnon, or however you pronounce that. Boys, we've broken through! I feel comfortable in saying at this point we have broken through the front. You can see the enemy has a division of unentrenched troops near Compagnon. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that even remotely correctly. Paris is not far, my lads. Although I'm not going to advance those guys. They need resupply. Fuck. Crack divisions, boys. Hold the flank. Let's recon here and try and expand this front and maybe weaken the enemy a little bit. If I can expand this front a little bit, I may shorten my lines a bit and free up some troops here. So I'm attacking both the 162nd and the 19th Division. I'll do that. You can't attack. All right, so we destroyed that one enemy division. Nearly destroyed another. Okay, so that at least had a positive outcome. It allows me to free up at least one division to move to supporting our right flank. It also allows us to start shifting down toward Reims, which we might be able to assault next turn as it's in a bit of a salient. We'll attack the 38th French Division here. We can advance on Chalon. I think I want to get these troops reinforced if we can. Also, some of these guys need to upgrade. Should I advance on Bar-le-Duc? Threatening to cut off the Verdun salient. I don't know. I'm sure there's troops out that way. These guys still have entrenchments, but I used up my last shells. Got him. We've advanced into the Argonne. Into the rear of the French position. We are threatening Verdun once again. Oh, by the way, I forgot I got the troops at Sedan. Alright, we'll entrench these guys to build a bit of a blocking force. Move some of these aircraft forward. Any of these troops entrenched? They've all used too many movement points. We're driving on Paris, lads. We're broken through the 22nd detachment in the 1st Division, driving on Sinilus, with the French headquarters here. Paris is in sight. I don't have the strength to exploit that advantage, I don't think. Also, this K-Wagen may be able to help us break through this French entrenchments to the west, because they're just detachments blocking the way here. Let's pull our troops out of Oth. Okay, so let's go ahead and reinforce some troops in the north. I shouldn't have attacked there. 3 to 5. I saw the 5 and I was like, let's go for it, boys. Two. Can't rail these troops in. These guys already moved, right? Yeah. I don't know how much morale we just took out of that tank unit there, but hopefully, oh shit, hopefully some. What about this 21st Division? Then I'll swap the 10 unit out. Got it. All right, so we destroyed another British division there. Plug the gap. Can't entrench. So we're very weak up here near Bethune. Troops that are not dug in, enemy tanks, plentiful enemy artillery, but we are giving the British something to think about in terms of the casualties they're suffering. They've lost 9 units here, the French 31, the Americans 1, so 40 plus units lost for the enemy versus only 2 for us. We've got 122 units against, well, whatever. So we're giving them some bloody noses. I don't know how much I can really accomplish against enemy armor with my blimps or my rail guns, but I'm hoping I'm not going to damage them, but I'm hoping I can hurt their morale a little. Meanwhile, this headquarters unit needs to move south to support these troops on the front in their drive. I'd really like to take Reims so I can move this headquarters into Reims, and then this headquarters unit's going to move to Soissons next turn. So we're enveloping this position here toward Verdun. The Italian army, I don't know. Do they start showing up? Is that a thing? Advance on Bar-le-Duc. So If there's troops up here, they could definitely move to cut my rail line here. But in theory, I may force this recon bomber unit and artillery unit to withdraw. Verdun is in a precarious spot. There are no rail lines at the moment that the French control. Well, actually, no, they control this one rail line near Saint-Nazaire that allows up here. So this is probably not that unlike the historical French crisis at Verdun. All right, what are they dug in? They just have ground cover, but it's a really good unit. All right, reinforce these troops. I'm not going to destroy this French division, but I at least bloodied it enough where I think they won't attack again this turn. They also put another crack division here, the 170th. Do a salient near Verdun. So we'll destroy that unit. I'm really curious to see how the AI is going to react to this. They're not going to evacuate this National Morale Center, but they're from a map perspective, they're in a rough spot at Verdun. I think we may take Reims next turn also. Let's go ahead and purchase some new units. We lost those divisions, so let's buy their replacements. Buy a heavy bomber unit. And I think that's going to do it for this turn. We'll see what happens up near Lille. I'm a little bit nervous about that. But you can only do so much. We're also now within 1, 2, 3. I'm not sure how many hexes we are from Paris. I wish it told me. But we're getting close, so we might get like a morale boost for getting closer. German morale rises as their forces near Paris. Yep, I was right. The AI may cut off that unit, Pascal. You may be right. They're going to counterattack it. Bar-le-Duc. So they haven't cut it off so far, but you can see that, whoa, it looks like they're pulling out a whole bunch of troops on the front line, potentially to guard this, to respond to some of the losses they're taking or some of the developments on the front line. They've got some strategic bombers hitting some mines and targets in our rear, at least on that one occasion. Stein, thanks for the sub. 13 months. Appreciate the support, sir. Odie 1992, thank you for the follow. Subtime, hope all is well. Yeah, at least I think all is well. I don't know. I feel good, so I hope all is well for you as well. All right, so they just destroyed one of our units in the north in Belgium there. Meanwhile, random attacks along the front here in France. That feels a little bit weird. They didn't even have a salient or a real advantage on any of those places. They did drive one of our divisions on the flank of the advance on Paris back. That was a pretty good unit, too. They haven't destroyed it yet. Attacks near Bapaume. That at least makes sense. There's a salient there. Then they're going to advance on Cambrai. But they don't manage to destroy the unit, so that is a great result for us. It feels like an all-out offensive all along the front line here this turn. AI getting a bit aggressive here and having quite a bit of success. They're nearly destroying many of our units. If they can maintain these attacks, I worry about our ability to withstand another turn of this. This is a very intensive series of attacks here. Just lost another division there on the British front. attack out of Campagne. So they're definitely blunting some of our striking power here this turn. Is this as hard to learn as Hearts of Iron 3? Hearts of Iron 3, no. Definitely not. I don't think so. Oh my god, someone flipped the switch and the AI just went bonkers. We're attacking everywhere, god damn it. I guess. Maybe J Street. I don't know a ton about some of the spring offensives, but it feels like the French are doing exactly that, launching attacks everywhere. We lost the 220th and the 19th Reserve divisions. We also had several other divisions nearly die, including the 83rd here. The ideal scenario is you can pull them out of the front line when you reinforce them, because they lose a lot of their experience, and they also take I think a readiness hit when you reinforce them. I won't have that luxury, unfortunately, because I don't have enough troops. One place I have a few reserves is in the north in Belgium. All right. I think the drive on Paris has to continue, right? Recon here on this American artillery unit. By the way, how many units are they up to now? The Americans are up to 10 units on the map. Make that 9. We're nearing Paris, boys. We're like 4 hexes away. All right, let's hit this enemy detachment here near Chateau Thierry to expand our advance. First, we're going to hit it with artillery, then we're going to hit it with tanks. Then finish them off with infantry. We'll also hit this detachment here. Okay. Destroy that. The 12th Division is 3 stars now. They're a really good unit now. Let's actually pull them back so they're not in a salient. So that unbuckles sort of that helps secure the southern flank of the advance on Paris, which is admittedly a very bare bones effort. Let's swing this unit around this way. Well, that may have been unwise. Do I have any reserves that showed up this last turn? I don't. Can we pull one of these units out? I don't like that artillery unit's gonna get hit by the enemy and probably destroyed. Not sure I have much of a choice about it. Well... This guy's on a fucking disastrous salient. I have no reserves. Let's move this here. Split the line there. Okay. The Germans didn't have a reserve in 1918. Technically, that's not true when these offensives started. They did have some. Not many, but some. Right. Wiped out that French cavalry division. It'll be interesting to see if the British try and push more troops into this yawing gap there. Let's go for Reims and the national morale advantage that it gets us. Attacking everywhere. Perhaps this was an unwise strategy. Reims. Reims is ours, my lads. All right. So we will dig in along this line here to the east. We've taken Reims. The enemy's also pulled out quite a few places here. This kind of frees up a whole bunch of units of ours, actually. Let's recon over here, I guess. Secure Reims by hitting the units adjacent to it, I suppose. Got it. Another French unit destroyed. Okay. 2-5, 2-7. I'll go for that. 1-2. Another French division destroyed here near Chalon. So Chalon-sur-Marne. So there you go, guys. We're threatening Chalon, although I don't think we're going to get there. We've taken Reims. We're flanking this position here, potentially. These guys. See if we can destroy the 21st Division. It looks like they reinforced, but not up to full strength. We'll dig in the 13th Landwehr Division, which is threatening the flank of Verdun. Got that unit. Okay. It'd be interesting as attacking the 5th Division here. Or even... Is this artillery really exposed? The rear of Verdun is just open like that? Got it. So, in theory, this is not a good spot for the French to be in. I mean, there's a bit of a pocket forming here around Verdun. They've got one very thin rail line moving in here. I don't know if Verdun provides its own supply, so that may not be as disastrous to them as it seems to me. Curious to see what they do here, though. So we have cut off Verdun. Verdun is surrounded, my lads. Take that, Falkenhayn. Falkenheim. Whatever. Damn name. The front line is getting messy, boys. Verdun is surrounded. Not terribly strongly. They could just march troops along this rail line, but in theory, the zones of control have Verdun surrounded. These guys attacked. Yeah, if this is 1915, they might be more worried about Verdun, but I have a hunch their priority is probably not Verdun. All right, we're gonna attack here. I won't destroy this unit, but the goal is to bleed it enough so that it can't counter us. Really feels like they attacked kind of everywhere this last turn. Destroy the 4th Division here in southern Germany. I worry my own 21st may get destroyed by these 2 French divisions here, now that it's not entrenched. But another kill is another kill. The enemy's down to 81 units. Remember, they were at 96 not that long ago. The British are not noticeably weaker. The French MPP situation's disastrous. You can see here they're losing tons of units. Their national morale situation is also going to take another hit with the fall of that last center. Make sure we're not missing anything for reinforcements. I mean, we've achieved a lot of success here, but I also kind of get the sense that, like, if they just push in the right places, our success could unravel pretty damn quickly. It's not the most comfortable feeling. A shoestring advance on Paris is what I would call it. It's like Barbarossa all over again. All right, so those guys. Especially on the British front, like, things are ready to fall apart there. That being said, our production should kick in with some additional troops. We'll get a division in the next turn, and we'll get a whole bunch more by at the end of April, as well as some air units. So yeah. Overall, this is going pretty well. With that being said, guys, I do have a busy day at work tomorrow. I would like to stream for longer, but I just can't. So we're going to have to wrap this up here. We will return to this game. It seemed like there was a pretty good showing. Folks seemed interested in this. So I had fun. I'm curious to see how this will play out. This feels a bit more challenging. Like we are mowing down the French like they're freaking, like they're the grass and we're a lawnmower. But at the same time, the enemy's strong. And so I don't feel like this is terribly easy. I do hope you guys enjoyed. And as always, this is the Historical Gamer saying once again, thank you very much for watching. If you're interested in checking these live streams, there's a link in the description to my Twitch channel. If you're interested in supporting the channel and buying the game, there's a link in the channel where you can actually directly support the channel. It's my Nexus GG page where you can buy a Steam key, and a small percentage of the proceeds go to me. But only do that if you're actually legitimately interested. It's a fun game, but it's not for everybody. So if it doesn't speak to you, don't buy it. That being said, guys, hope you enjoyed the video. Leave your thoughts below, and until next time, I'm out.